It's finally time to unbox DragonStrike and take a look at its content. DragonStrike, a 1993 adventure board game based on the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game. The game was intended to help new players understand the rules for future D&D type board games. And the game came with quite a bit of content. It came with a VHS cassette tape going over the adventure and helping newcomers understand the concept of the game. 2 game boards that had a front and a back side, instruction book, adventure book, a map book, 6 hero cards, 110 playing cards ranging from spells to traps, the monsters and treasures, 24 plastic figures that consisted of monsters and heroes, a Dragon Master screen for the DM to hide behind, to hide all the information behind, 24 plastic clips for different status elements and treasure chests, 24 plastic bases, 43 cardboard markers, and it came with 3 dice, a D8, a D10, and a D12. We're going to open the box and go over the contents, but we are going to go over each content individually in another episode since there are so many different things in this box. This video would be a long one if I went over all 110 playing cards plus all the figures. So what we're going to do is just do a quick unboxing, show a couple of the things, and then I'm going to break the video down into cards to figures as such. But we will go over the paperwork in this one and the board, and I will show off. So let's finally open the box. So we'll go over. We have here the first item is the DragonStrike VHS tape. This is such a classic tape. I've been watching it for years on YouTube, even without having the board game. I will leave a link in the description if you want to watch this tape. It is 33 minutes long, and it does have an adventure of sorts. Let's read a little bit from the back. A magical kingdom, once peaceful and lush, now at last shrouded beneath a cloud of doom, trapped in perpetual night. Into this realm stride 4 unlikely heroes: a warrior, a wizard, a thief, and an elf. Together they must face their greatest challenge ever, to conquer a deadly sorcerer and lift his curse of darkness. It's an epic adventure in a land where dragons rule the sky and dangers lurk at every turn. That is the VHS. So we're going to go over some of the paperwork. This is the summer fall catalog of 1993. It shows you some of the other products that you can get. Mostly all of it D&D. Different campaigns for the main D&D line. Back in the day they didn't have internet, so this was how you would order stuff. It's from mail-in order or your local comic book store if you're lucky to have one. Next, this is the instruction manual on how to play. It is pretty thick. It is 32 pages long, which for a D&D game that is sort of small. It gives you icon index of what each icon means for the Dragon Master, and it's good for the players to go over it as well. So, and then this is like this is a custom map that you could use for the valley if you wanted to make your own map. So print out copies of it and then place the icons on it for future references. And then this is the adventure book that it comes with. This has, I believe, 12 adventures ranging from various difficulties, and it tells you how many players is needed. This is a book that you do not let your adventurers look at unless they are going to be the Dragon Master at one time. Because if you let them look at it, they would know the adventure beforehand. And it has another glossary in the back. So let's look at the character cards real quick. You get one of each except for the thief, and it comes in two, male and female. So the first one is the elf. He is your archer type character, and I have two of those. Here is the male thief. I do not have the female thief, but I will have a picture right next to him. They have the exact same character, but you do get two different figures, one of the male and one of the female. I do need to get the card for this. The warrior. These are from the actors from the VHS tapes, and they do have their stats and stuff. But what I want to do, I want to make a separate video of that, maybe comparing the stats on these to what you would start out in a normal D&D game at the time to see how they compare. This is the dwarf, and then the wizard. Alright, next we'll look at the types of cards you get, but we won't go over the spells or what they hold in this video, because there's 110 cards, so there's a lot to go through. So it's according to what class you are, you get hero spells, and this is level 1 hero spells. We'll look at one real quick. This is sleep. Up to 3 enemies you can see fall asleep. Tip figures over. Any further attack, kill the sleeper automatically. Waking. Sleeper's yawn arises when someone moves or attacks within 6 squares. They must wait 1 round to act. A character can perform a feat of dexterity to avoid waking a sleeper. So, close up of that. And well, here's the level 2 spells for the hero. We'll read one of those as well. And the one on top is darkness. The room around you is plunged into darkness. Outdoors. This spell affects one space you can see plus every space around it. No one can attack or cast spells in the dark. All figures move at half speed during any turn they begin in the darkness. And then it has an indicator for you to put one of the pegs that you get to indicate how many turns there is. Now there ain't as many as these, but this is the 3rd level spells for the hero. We'll read one of those. The one on the back is the lightning bolt. A powerful bolt travels straight from your fingertips in the direction of your choice. Every figure in line with the bolt must save versus magic. Those who fail lose 2 hit points. Those who succeed lose 1 hit point instead. Only walls, doors, and similar barriers can stop the bolt. So that's that. And then the Dragon Master, if he plays as Teraptus, which is the main villain of the series, he has his own set of spell cards. And he has Lightning Bolt, which is exactly the same one as I just read. So some of the spells are similar between Teraptus and the hero spells. If you're a thief, you do get sneak attacks. You get 5 cards, or whatever the adventure may hold. I believe it is 5. It says, no one is faster with a blade than you are. This card lets you use the black dice. It's a D12. When attacking with your dagger, the short range attack as usual. Discard after 1 attack. The next is the reference cards. So these are reference cards for your characters. It gives you a little backstory of them. Like here's the warrior one. You are the mighty warrior, courageous and strong. No other hero can withstand as many blows of battle as you do, and no one cuts down a monster more quickly. The warrior's weapon of choice, a 2-handed broadsword. So that's that. You get 1 per character. And then here's are the trap cards. So if the map says a random trap or draw a trap card, some have specific traps, but if it says just draw a random one, you would just get 1 for the pile. And the one on the back is falling rock. Look out! A boulder falls straight from above. Head straight towards your head. Attempt a feat of dexterity. Failure means you lose 1 hit point. Success means you dodge the rock just in time. Stay in the same space. So that's the falling rock trap. And the monsters, each monster in the game has their own monster card. It has all their stats. And a little backstory of them. I'll just show that on the screen. The one in the back, that we're showing is the fire elemental. Alright, the next one is the treasure cards. This is the thickest of all the cards. Most adventures have a card, have treasure laid out for the Dragon Master to go ahead and pull from, or they just pick one randomly from the deck when it says when they open a treasure or they search a body. Well, let's take a look at the Dragon Master window. This is what the DM would use to hide the book and all the monsters. It folds out take a look at the artwork real quick. So this is what the adventurers would see, and this is what the DM would see. On the sides here, this is all the monsters that is in the game, and it has their hit points, so you can put markers there for when they're on the board. You can see how many hits they have left, and it gives little quick references for the DM. The way it would be set up is like this towards the adventurers, with the flats folded, for the DM can just see what's behind it. And this here goes along with the adventure book. This is the maps. The map book. Mine doesn't have the front cover, but what this is it tells you every map where all the monsters go. I'll just show you that one of the first adventures. Each icon, like that right there, is a treasure chest. You put a monster there, and so forth and so on. That's the map book. It is 16 pages long, and they're usually one adventure each. Oh, I forgot one of the papers. This is like a flyer for Dungeons and Dragons stuff as well. Simply awesome. I definitely agree. And this is another one I would like to try, and that is, or two of them. Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Quest. It's just like DragonStrike. It's an adventure board game. And then they have the classic dungeon. I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on eventually. Those two are probably pretty expensive since this was made back in '93. Alright, and this is a bag full of markers like treasure chests, doors, a scepter, one of 3. If you go invisible, you put that underneath your character or as it. So these are just different markers. So if you use a spell of levitation, you would put that under your character. It says that you're in the air. So that's those. And this is the D12, D6, and D10 die you get, plus the standees for the characters and the markers for your HP and items like that. We're going to go ahead and look at the heroes in this one, since there's only 6. So we'll save the monsters and the monster cards for their own video, maybe. Here is the Dwarf Figure. None of mine are painted, unfortunately. These are pretty detailed characters. I don't really like how they're purple. I wish I would have went with another color, because it's going to be a little bit harder to paint these if I ever get around to it. Here is the male thief. He's got a cloak, and he's hiding his dagger in the back. There's his back. And then this is the female thief. She's got something like she's telling, she's got her hand up to her mouth like she's telling everybody to be quiet. I'm hoping that's in focus. I can't really tell from this view. But that is the female thief, and this is the elf, which is, the archer of the group. He has his bow drawn back and ready to go. He's got his quiver on back. And on the side, if you can see, he does got utility belt and stuff on it with pouches and stuff. And then here is the wizard. He's in spell casting formation. He is ready to cast lightning at a moment's notice. I like how they did his cape. And last but not least, and finally, this is the warrior. He's got his big two-handed broadsword in his hand. They did give him a cape, but if you watch the VHS, he does not have any pants. Pants are not required to be a warrior. So those are the figures, and I'm not going to go over all of the monsters, but we will show off 2 of them. Here is all 24. I usually put everything in baggies that you saw. And one of the main villains from the movies that you've seen is that big bad scorpion. And his front legs here, they come off. They are not attached. So I guess if he's playing it and it's like the warrior does a feat of dexterity or whatever, and it's like, I will cut his legs off, you could actually take it off if you wanted to. But that is the scorpion from the video. And then we'll show, let's see, we'll show the fire elemental. because, you know, so fire is pretty cool. And the only thing I would do if I ever painted him was add some orange into him. Give him a little more fine detail. Maybe his eyes be yellow or something. And that is all of the characters. I don't believe I have Terraptus. I'm not sure if he's a character or not. But I do know I am missing the troll. The troll is one I am missing. And I have not replaced him yet. And last but not least, the two game boards. They both have front and back. So we'll take it. The front. Now I believe this one's called the Valley. Oh, in each game there is a countdown for the dragon to appear. So if you do not have this adventure beat in 20 turns, the dragon does come to attack the warriors. And this is, I believe, a town, a village. Has a fountain in the middle, different shops that you can set up different encounters for the adventurers. And the last thing that's in the box is the last board. It's double-sided as well. And we have one side is a cave. And the other side is, I'm guessing it's supposed to be Terraptus's tower or dungeon, whatever you want to call it. It has different rooms. It's actually got a pretty nice looking dragon. Let's turn it around on the camera. That is the board. And here's the other side of the box. We made one of the was wondering what it was like. But that is DragonStrike, the board game. Like I said, I will make more videos showcasing the cards, the monsters, and going over each one. So I will say the reference cards for the monsters and the monster figures for one video. That would be really cool. Terraptus and the hero cards for another. And these I will try to get these out weekly for the next couple of weeks till we are done unboxing this, so we can get to more stuff. D&D is a good passion I have. It's just hard to play when you get older, to get everybody together. But I thank you all for watching this video. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Please leave us a like, and always leave a little time each week for your family.